Hello everyone, I just saw Ralph Breaks the Internet and I want to talk about it. So here we go. Wreck-It Ralph is not one of the Disney movies that I have seen hundreds of times. I've seen that movie maybe 5 times. I really like that movie. I've dressed as those characters for Halloween before, but it's just not one that I have watched over and over again. So when the second one came out, I was excited, but I'm like, oh, that's gonna be my must-see movie of the year. No, but I knew I was gonna see it. So I did, and I liked it. So I want to talk about it, but I'm gonna start out with non-spoiler things as usual, and then I'm gonna warn you when the spoilers come. So, starting with non-spoilers. What I expected from this movie was it to be fun, because Wreck-It Ralph was a fun movie. It's about friendship. The second one is the same. From the trailer, we know that Vanellope's game gets broken, so they have to go to the internet to find a piece to replace the broken part, because they want to save her game, because apparently in a game, if it breaks and you get unplugged, you're gone forever. So we're gonna try to save Vanellope's game. So Ralph and Vanellope go to the internet. It was actually kind of one of my favorite parts was going to the internet, because if the internet was like humanized and made real, I feel like it was exactly that. It was overwhelming, it was colorful, it was busy, there was so much to look at and so much to do, like so many details in the internet part of this movie that you have to watch it at least 10 times to catch half of the things that are there. It was very similar to Ready Player One, if any of you guys have seen that movie. It was a big one about video games and visually so much going on. But cool, because you'll recognize something and be like, oh, I used to love that game. Oh, I'm on that site all the time. But the main part of the internet that I loved was Oh My Disney. And I'll talk about that in the spoiler section, because it's just a fun part that I really want to talk about. This movie overall is not scary, so it's a good family movie. It has good life lessons about friendship and your dreams and all that jazz. All your favorite characters are back. Felix is not in it as much as I'd wanted him to be. We get a bunch of new characters. These new characters were actually a big part of the story that made it more fun and kind of helped our characters along. A lot of little small roles. Of course, the guy who's like the Google, I forget his name, is a fun little character that we get to see a couple times, and we don't just see them once really fast. We get to go back to them and kind of keep using their resources. Like, nobody's here for just once and gone. You kind of, they all intersect and make sense. So I'm gonna go into the spoiler section now, even though I really don't think it's going to be much of a spoil, because this movie is really just about, you know, how they fix her game, because, you know, of course, they're gonna fix it. So this spoiler section, if you wanna watch, I think you can. There's not really any major twist or shock in this movie, so if you wanna pause and come back, now's the time, because it's spoiler time. But if you're on the fence about it, just watch. I promise I won't give too much away. So here we go. This is the spoiler section. So the movie, like I said, starts out with her game being broken. They have to go to the internet, which is new to their arcade. They realize something's being plugged in and they think it's a new game, and it turns out it's just the internet. And Sonic the Hedgehog explains what that is to all the characters of this arcade. And then when the game gets broken and they realize that the arcade owner is not going to replace the part, Ralph and Vanellope go to the internet to get this part. So they're in the internet, they go to eBay to buy this part. They think that eBay is some sort of game that you just pick high numbers and then you get the stuff you want, not realizing when they go to check out that they have to pay the price that they have bought this item for. So when they realize they need money, they go to the internet to make money now. So they've got their part, they just need money to pay for it. Like I said before, how they humanize the internet, so there are people that hold up signs that are pop-ups. So it's like, hey, you wanna buy this? get rich quick. So they find the get rich quick guy, who's actually a super cute character. He's just kind of, you know, doing his job, being a pop-up. The pop-up blocker guy sends them to Slaughter Race because if you steal this car from this game, somebody on the internet will buy it for the amount that they need. So that's where we meet our first group of characters, which I didn't think that Shank would be such big of a character because she's not really in the trailers much, but she turns out to be a pretty significant character and kind of respects Vanellope as a racer because they have this race battle, of course, and she's the one who's like, if you need cash, you don't need to steal stuff, just become an internet sensation. It kind of helps him get there. And so then Ralph ends up doing all the stupid things that we love on the internet. That's how he's gonna get cash, and Vanellope is gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be a pop-up and help you get clicks to your videos. So off she goes to the land of Oh My Disney. This is probably my favorite scene. So she goes to Oh My Disney and goes through the castle, you know, the famous castle in front of every Disney movie, and then it's just all the Disney umbrella is here, and there's a little Stan Lee cameo, which is really sweet. Our whole theater was like, oh, you know, so it was like unexpected. It was so nice to see an icon like that in this movie. But then we're into Star Wars, where she bumps into some stormtroopers and like, hey, you don't have a permit to be a pop-up. That's when she has to hide, and that's where we meet the princesses. There's been a lot of hype about these princesses coming up in this movie, mainly because of their costumes, because of how they look and their voices, and it's a huge deal that all the original princesses came back to voice their characters. And it's been so overhyped that I was worried it was gonna be 2 seconds or dumb or I don't know. I was worried. So when the princess part came up, I was like, here we go. But they were hilarious. It was kind of a long scene that I maybe had dragged out just a little bit, but they were funny. Like I don't know if they kind of dumbed them down a little bit, but some of the stuff that they said and did, I mean, you know, in the trailer, they're like, were you poisoned? Did the animal friends talk to you? Of course that was there, but then like one part was terrible. She's like, do you have daddy issues? And she's like, what? No, I don't even have a mom. And they're like, all the princesses whose moms are dead come up and be like, neither do we. And I'm just like, oh my god, they didn't. But they did. Wreck-It Ralph went there. We meet these princesses and then they've got to leave and go do their Oh My Disney quiz. Anyways, that's one of my favorite scenes. Vanellope is seeing this different world. She's kind of bored with her Sugar Rush game and wants to be in this new exciting race game with her new gal friend, and Ralph kind of overhears that she doesn't want to go back to where she was, and he gets kind of sad and ultimately makes the wrong choice by planting this virus in this game she wants to be in, and that's when all heck breaks loose and, you know, as expected, kind of goes out of control and creates the virus. The virus looks for insecurities. So originally it sees it in Vanellope in the game, and when the virus gets out of the game, it hooks on to Ralph's insecurity, and it kind of makes this Ralph monster of insecurity, which I didn't love because I never really thought of Ralph that way. I thought he was just kind of a big guy who liked his world and his, I mean, not originally, but how it ended in Wreck-It Ralph. He was happy with his world. In the beginning of the movie, we see that too. He just doesn't want his friend to leave, which we all have had friends who move away and you miss them, but you know, that's their life and you are still friends. But he was upset that she wanted to leave. Rightfully so, but kind of made a big mistake by letting this virus loose to get rid of it. They try to go to this antivirus thing and you recognize all those antivirus logos, but they don't make it. And then he just realizes that he has to be okay with his friend wanting a new dream and pursuing that dream and letting her go. And that's kind of the moral of the story. You know, you can always be friends no matter where your friends go. So they lived happily ever after in their own games, and they still talked on their phone and they still visit each other. I thought it would just be more of an adventure movie, and it pretty much was. Just going to the internet and seeing new things and trying to fix their problems. And then they had a little fight, which I did not like Vanellope's attitude when she found out about some things. I thought she was really harsh, a little too harsh on Ralph, and I didn't enjoy that part, but ultimately it was a funny movie. There's a lot of great funny one-liners. We get a song from Princess Vanellope in classic Disney fashion, and then the princesses come back at the end when Ralph's falling and they catch him with all, like, if ever every princess's skill was combined into saving Ralph, and it was so absolutely ridiculous. You have to laugh at every step of this rescue mission. It was just hilarious. Stay for the end credits. There are 2 end credits, one kind of little at the end and one at the very, very end. I promise you will not forget the very last one. It will stick with you for the rest of the night. I know I missed so many references in this movie because I probably don't know all the video games or all the old video games. So let me know in the comments below what your favorite reference was. I liked how he thought Prince Naveen was Frogger for a hot minute. So let me know your favorites because there's no way I saw them all. Put them in the comments below. So that is my review of Ralph Breaks the Internet. I give it 2 thumbs up. I will probably be going to see it again because I feel like I missed a lot in the first one because there's so much to look at. And I'm gonna do a little clickbait myself. My name's Aubrey. I make new videos every Thursday, so make sure you subscribe and follow me on all my social media, and I will see you guys next week. You guys like my sweatshirt? Target kids section, extra large, yo. I'll wreck it, I'll wreck it, I'll fix it, I'll fix it. Internet celebrity. Leave it to Target to have all the good merchandise.